Thank you for joining me for this seated yoga flow. Focus on the neck, the shoulders, a bit of the back. Great for end of day after work, or you feel like you just need to loosen up that area of the body. So I'll invite you to sit cross-legged or any seated position of your choice. Really recommend a block if you're feeling like this isn't quite accessible for you today. Sitting on a block can really help, lifting your hips up, making it a little bit more comfortable. And I'll invite you to note which leg is in the front. If you are sat cross-legged, as we will be changing this just to keep the balance. So as you are here present on the mat physically, I invite you to draw that attention, your mind, to the mat as well. You might want to close down the eyes, soften your gaze. Extending the crown of your head up towards the sky. And taking a deep breath, the biggest breath you've taken today. And let it out with a sigh. And I'll invite you to do that again. Keeping your shoulders relaxed, noticing if you're hunching on that inhale, maybe consciously keeping them relaxed. I invite you to take a last huge breath in and exhale out through the mouth. And just notice how you're feeling today. What brought you to this practice? Just need a little bit of time to yourself. Maybe you're noticing some tension in your neck, your jaw, somewhere else. And if you'd like to open your eyes, you can. But if you'd like to keep them closed, that's also perfectly okay. And I'm going to invite you to do some circles, so a little bit like a seated cat-cow, but we're going to go around on circles. So on an inhale, shine your chest to the left and forward. And as you inhale, expanding your belly, moving across to the right. Get to your very right and start your exhale, curling your back. Moving across the back. And then you get to your inhale again. Just moving in circles. Warming up, loosening up the back. You might have been sat stiff all day. You can take this at any pace. But I do encourage you to align it with your breath. We do this maybe another couple of times. The next time you get to the end of your exhale, I encourage you to go the other way, maybe around the other way of the circle, but the same thing. You might want to speed it up, got some warmth into your back. You might want to keep it nice and gentle. You are the expert of your own body and knowing what it needs today. And when you reach the end of your next exhale, I encourage you to join me back, seated position, crown reaching up towards the sky. And just notice, has your breath changed from when you sat down on your mat? Perhaps it's slower, a longer inhale, longer exhale. And just keep that breath with you. Throughout this practice, it's there for you. We're just going to roll our shoulders up, back, and down. Really exaggerate the movement. We have a lot of soft tissue across this part of our body. It's somewhere we often hold tension. You might not even know you're tense. this might be quite difficult for you today. I'm going to reverse that circle, coming forwards, up and around. Last one. We bring our arms out to the side and circle our arms up and overhead. And you can either join your hands at the top, maybe interlocking your fingers, or if that's not great for you today, you might want to take your left wrist with your right hand and then lean over to the right hand side. Doesn't have to be far. You don't want to collapse into the side, keeping body open, but keeping that breath with you. And on an inhale, I invite you to come back up. If you're holding one wrist, I invite you to swap, so taking your right wrist in your left hand. And on an exhale, leaning over to the left-hand side. And you might feel a lengthening down your right, or a compression in your left. This can be quite tough on the shoulders if they're quite stiff, or you've been working them hard. On an inhale, come back up to center. Gently let your arms drop, maybe give a little shake out. If you are sitting cross-legged, now is a great time to swap them over. So usually people will start on their comfy and natural side, so this side might feel a bit odd. But I encourage you to embrace it. You might want to remove or add your block or blanket from underneath your hips, depending on how that feels. Both sides are not symmetrical and deserve their own attention. We're going to focus a little bit more on the neck. So I encourage you again, find that neutral position, sitting up straight. Then slowly tilt your head to the left-hand side. So bringing your ear towards your left shoulder. And if that's enough for you today, then that's okay to leave it there. If you feel like you might want a little bit more, you can bring your right hand out to the side and actively sort of push away the air, keeping that shoulder relaxed. And you might feel a little bit more in your neck. For those who might want a little bit more, you might want to bring your left hand to the side of your head and not push, but just rest your hand there, letting gravity do its thing, just a little bit of pressure. And you might want to bring your nose down towards the armpit. For some people, this can intensify the stretch. For others, it might just be slightly different. And on your next inhale, encourage you to start lifting your head back up, taking your hands away, relaxing your hands down to the side. And we're going to extend our arms up, looking up. Maybe we feel a little bit lopsided. Before we do the same on the other side, on an exhale, bringing your arms down and tilting your head to the right-hand side. Same options are here for you. You can push away from the air towards you on the left, activating that left arm. Maybe adding that little bit of pressure to your head. And on an inhale, turn your nose towards your armpit, which might change the focus of the stretch a little bit to a different part of your neck. Or intensify it for some people. And on an inhale, I invite you to come back up. Shake your shoulders out, shake your body out, give it a bit of movement, whatever that looks like to you. And I'll encourage you again to circle your arms up to the sky. Send your gaze to follow it. And on an exhale, twist to the left, dropping your arms down so your right hand is on your left knee and your left hand is just behind you. Doesn't have to be on the ground. Be hovering if you want a little bit of fire. But we want to be not collapsing. We want to be still using our midline, drawing ourselves up. And I encourage you on your inhale to extend the crown of the head up just that little bit more. And on the exhale, twist that a little bit further if you can. You might want to bring that back arm around your back to sit on your hip. And I'll encourage you to take a few breaths here in your own time, extending up on the inhale and twisting a bit further on the exhale. This movement should be guided from your chest. And if it feels okay for you today, you might want to look by twisting your neck over your left shoulder. On your next inhale, unravel, lifting your arms up to the sky, looking up at the sky. I'm going to twist on the exhale to the other side, exactly the same as before. Put your left hand on your right knee and your arm behind. Keeping that spine long, reaching the crown of your head to the ceiling on an inhale. And on your exhale, you twist that a little bit further. Same options for you if you want to bring your hand to your left hip. And your twist might be totally different on this side. And that's okay. Our bodies are not the same on the left and right. But I encourage you to explore what you need in this moment. On an inhale, your next inhale, I encourage you to bring your hands up to the sky, following with your nose. And on an exhale, bring your hands to heart. Prayer position or Anjali Mudra. And really thank yourself for your listening to your body today, for bringing it to the mat, giving your neck, your shoulders a little bit of TLC. Namaste.